But I actually have been trying not to just wake up and eat weed on my day off.
I can understand that.
Because that's what I normally have. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like
Whole day gone.
all day. Yeah. I'm just fucking out.
No, I can totally understand that. She left yesterday around 10, 9:30, 10. And I was going to do all sorts of stuff. And I couldn't really find anything to do. And couldn't really think of it. I started playing one of these video games.
What are you playing?
Astrobot.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah. Well, it's just such a fun, relaxing game.
It's a fun game.
It's a good palate cleanser.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Versus the violent, hack and slash type games that I play. But yeah, I just ate a cookie, and then a few hours later, I'm watching, random shit on YouTube, and had another cookie, and then, then it was 8 o'clock, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Dave's got, hand me my cup. I would have been here 20 minutes earlier, but I forgot my teeth at the house.
Oh, really? Your teeth?
Yeah. I mean, whenever I first got these dentures, I always worked, it was like, oh my God, I'm so old. But, people of all ages get them.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I'm so old. And now they become so normal that it feels like, that I will leave the house and, be gone 20 minutes. Like, oh, shit, I don't have my teeth in.
Yeah.
Because I've gotten used to them.
Not wearing them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's actually a luxury to just take your teeth out.
You think so? It seems like most people that have them be running around without any teeth,
Well, you put them in, but when you go home and, like you're done you just take your teeth out and it's just free, it feels kind of freeing.
Yeah.
And, I don't know how many of your teeth are real or not, but, I was always in pain. I mean, I didn't have good dental hygiene. That's a fact.
I think it's hard for a lot of people. People like to act like they do, but I don't know.
Yeah, if we, you go to the dentist and get your teeth clean, and then
it's kind of necessary to go to get a cleaning. I kind of have finally understood that in my life.
Right, and and then whenever I got these done, the dentist who did them, she said, now you have to come back about once a year, and it's going to cost you about $200, but we had to because to do a reline. And I was like, oh, that's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Because these feel so great. I was like, I skipped years of not going to the dentist, not properly going to the dentist all the time every 6 months for cleans. I'm making up for it now, but I don't know. I've gotten used to them.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would, but I thought my lisp was going to be stuck forever. But I hear it, but what you hear and versus what other people hear,
I don't really notice it.
Right.
I don't notice it at all.
So some people say I talk better since I concentrate on my speech now.
Maybe, yeah.
I've learned how to open my mouth when I talk, and since I have to.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing about being stoned is you mumble.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah, always being stoned,
Mm-hmm.
but I would hide my missing teeth by not opening my mouth because I did have, before these were done, I had missing teeth, and that's even though I'm not a vain person, that's still, because you hear people talk about, look at that meth head missing his teeth.
Yeah, I do it a lot.
So whenever you're around, you're just like,
yeah.
And you always want to talk with your mouth looking like an asshole.
Yeah.
So that way nobody sees your missing teeth.
It's a little different when somebody is just missing teeth and when somebody's missing teeth because of meth. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's a whole thing. It's not just, the teeth. It's like the whole package.
Well, and I agree with that. It's just sometimes you can't tell.
Yeah, but the teeth is like where the ribbon is. You know what I mean? That's the bow.
And it's not always meth. It's not always, look at that meth head. It's just, we look at people. Yeah. I didn't pay attention to teeth until, I didn't pay attention to people's teeth until I got my teeth done. And I was like, then, you see and then like watching YouTube reaction videos. And there's a, and I won't, in case this name ever comes up, I won't say the names, but there was this one, I'm watching a guy, he's got something in his teeth. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, well, maybe his teeth just looks that way. But then I watch another video and they don't have it. He doesn't have it in there. There's some videos where he has, a piece of spinach or something in his teeth. I'm like, how do you put that on the internet?
Yeah, how do you watch it and still put it up? Yeah.
And, or how do you not check that, like in the camera, hey,
Yeah.
So, I don't know, for, so many years, I was like, I just have shitty teeth and I just won't smile.
Yeah.
And I got those veneers put in and but then that helped my confidence. But then when I lost a couple of teeth post surgery, because and that's a risk of gastric sleeve surgery is
really
because your calcium level drops down
because you don't eat as much.
Well, you're not supposed to. If you don't eat like your calcium intake drops because you're not eating as much. And you're supposed to take calcium chews, and you're supposed to take like 500 or 5,000 milligrams, I don't know which, of calcium, and vitamins, that's to prevent shit like that.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Who does? Yeah.
And then poor dental hygiene, because who doesn't, who brushes their teeth 3 times a day or every time they eat like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
So, all that coming together, I don't know, it's just, it's been a real eye-opening experience.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what happened to me originally because I had a root canal tooth right here, and I went to this dentist one time, and she was just like, "You should do crowns or veneers," and I was like, "What is that?" And she told me, and I was like, she just was really like she was really good. So just the way she handled me, because I'm not really like okay when people suggest things to me very often. I'm like, what the fuck, and it's just a defense. And but when she told me about it, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And so then we did it, and I didn't really understand what was about to happen, and she just sawed all my teeth off. And I was like, oh, shit, because, like I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, no. And then she put in those, the temporary one. And then when I came back to get the final one, man, I was just like, holy shit. Like, it just made such a difference in my world on how I felt.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was missing this tooth, the 2 teeth next to the 2 big ones. I was missing both of those since childhood. And one of my canines was in the wrong spot, so they had to actually move it. And so then I just had a gap, on both sides. And so I had this retainer. And because I was like such a little delinquent, my mom was like, fuck you, I'm not going to finish paying for this shit anymore. And so I ended up with a retainer for like maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
And it had that bar on it. So the bar had made a groove in my teeth.
Oh,
and
wow.
so like, and I never took the retainer out. Eventually the little bar came off and I just still use the retainer.
Yeah.
And, I think I kept that thing with me the whole time I was in jail too, and like I never lost it and everything. Like that thing was like a piece of me, and for a long time. But whenever that happened, it just changed everything. You know what I mean? Like I just felt so much better about myself, and then it kind of became clear, how important a smile was, and that was like probably my first big purchase ever for myself, was that, because it cost me like $5,000 I think at that time.
Yeah.
I had the same kind of veneers you had, where it was like the front
bridge.
6.
The front bridge.
Yeah, and mine were both bridges on both sides to cover that gap.
Yeah.
And the only bad part is they didn't tell you that it makes your teeth weaker. You know what I mean? It causes more stress to be transferred to other areas, and so that's what happens.
Yeah, and then after 12 years again, that's what happened to mine, was just the stress, and then I knew it was loose, and then when I hit it with my vape when I was driving, it just broke. Yeah. It's just,
Yeah, if it was already loose, it was already happening. And they didn't really explain that to me at first, you're going to get, this is going to happen, they're not going to last that long and shit like that. But with my implants, that's what they've told me. They're like, they'll last you like 20 years. And I'm pretty good. I don't eat a lot of hard food, so I think they'll last me the whole 20, hopefully.
Right.
And by that point, I'll be like 63. I'll be okay with having dentures at that point.
Right. And by then they'll have, because like these can be implanted.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by
as long as you have enough bone, right? You have to have enough bone.
Well, yeah, you don't want to wait 10 years.
Yeah, but, then your bone will be less. Yeah.
Right.
But I think they're starting to do them at angles now.
Right, yeah, that's what I was thinking. You can still get, however long it takes.
Yeah.
Until you get the implants, you can still have implants.
Yeah, they're not just doing them straight up and down anymore. They're doing them at angles, which is cool.
They'll make it work.
Yeah. They'll get your dollar.
Well, we kind of touched on the subject last time, but this ozempic, man, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're on it.
Yeah, I've lost like 20 pounds.
Have you?
Yeah.
You do look a little thinner.
Yeah, I still, it's because the baggy clothes I wear, it's just, it's always going to be that way. Until I wear clothes that fit. According to the girlfriend, I look like my clothes swallow me up now.
Yeah.
Especially my work clothes, because they're like, I don't know, I wear a 4XT. But Yeah, this shit makes my stomach hurt, dude.
Does it?
You get, well,
like gassy or what?
Full. And that's, kind of the point of it.
Yeah.
What it, the chemical it releases that, that goes
like bloated full?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that sucks.
Like, if you eat, it could, and that's what that's how you lose weight.
Yeah, of course.
It does, it causes the body to release insulin, which, will, help the sugar and all that, and, burn. But after like 3 bites,
yeah,
and that's one of the ways that is supposed to train you to lose weight is because how can I say this? You can't just eat.
Yeah.
Because one of the reasons why you get fat whenever you're like this is you don't get full. You don't feel that.
Yeah.
See, you just eat until you clear your plate, just like you were trained to do as a child. You just do that all the time. Well, if you do that now, if you eat more, if you start having that, where you get hiccups after you eat, too much, or you start getting that where you got I got to force this swallow down.
Yeah.
You better stop.
Yeah.
Because it's already too late.
It's about to get worse. Does it get worse?
Well, it's already too late because 20 minutes after that, your stomach gets all.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God! And you just want to lay there. You just have to be in pain until until you digest. But yeah, you have this constant full of feeling, and then it makes you gassy on both ends.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
If you do that.
I've been saying it for years. I'm like, if you want to lose weight, you just got to starve a little bit. And like, it's serious though. And I only learned that through my own experimentation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you are correct there. It's just, you also have to, but for people who are morbidly obese.
I get it. It's hard.
And, like type 2 diabetes, it's and that just doesn't happen overnight. That's, through years of just abuse.
But literally, that's what they're doing. You know, that's why that one guy was calling it a willpower drug, because it just gives you the willpower. I mean, obviously, there's definitely a physical effect in your stomach that's not allowing you to eat anymore.
Well, you still can. It's just you're going to be in pain.
Yeah.
So you're building the willpower to set you after 3 bites of food, saying that's it.
I just wonder what it's going to be like, because Jennifer's on that shit, and she's looking so skinny right now, and it looks crazy, and her legs, her butt, everything's gotten smaller. And I tell her. And I'm like, you need to work out too. And she's just like, she has no energy to do it. And I'm like, yeah, it's because you're not eating.
Yeah. It takes about 3 months before before your energy levels and.
If that, she's been on it like 3 or 4 months. Kind
of even out.
Yeah.
To where you actually have the energy to do stuff, because right now your body's starving for energy because you're not putting energy in.
Yeah.
But what it's doing is it's doing what's called a bariatric set point. To where how you lose weight and then but you can't keep it off. Eventually you gain it all back. You have a bariatric or a set point. Saying your body wants to be wants to weigh this much.
Yeah.
And you weighed this much for so long, you drop it. Your body wants to get back to that.
Yeah.
And that and you have energy. And people say, "Well, I feel so tired." Well, you got to stay tired for good 3 to 6 months while you're doing this, until your body and your energy, your body gets used to not having that, and it's burning the fat, and that's, you build your energy up that way.
But I think it's dangerous too, though, because she's like, because today, I mean, she's getting small, and I was like, how long are you going to do this for? And she's like, why, you don't want me to be skinny? And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, it doesn't matter to me. I was like, I want you to be happy.
Right.
But like, I want you to be healthy, and she's like, till I get down to my ideal weight. I was just like, okay, like, so, who knows, like, what she's going to, like, you see how gout some of those people look, or gaunt they look, and so, like.
They have that, it looks like that buccal fat is, very sunk. And that, that's kind of, that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But whenever you stop taking the drug and when you stop taking, this Ozempic or, the new ones that have come out, whenever you stop taking that stuff, because that happened to me after my gastric bypass. You lose all that, but then you gain it back because that's, you're not, unless you get the fat sucked out.
Yeah.
The fat cells are still there. They're just shriveled.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. But I just wonder what's going to be like after she's off. You know what I mean? How long are you going to do it for? Till you get to your ideal weight?
I don't know, man. That's the part about this journey that's unforeseen. You can say, well, until I weigh this, but you don't know how much you're going to weigh, because I've never, the smallest I ever got after my surgery was 230.
Okay.
If I get, and I don't know if I'll get down to that.
Do you think you want to get lower than that?
I want to get until
I would.
You want to get until you stop losing.
Yeah.
You
think you're just gonna stop losing? Like
well, yeah,
it's all gone.
Eventually you plateau out, and I won't be crackhead skinny.
Thank you.
But you get to where I don't know. That's the part. That's the the
adventure. Okay.
You don't know yet.
Yeah, I like adventures. So that's cool.
It's hard to know how much you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Because they say 15% of your body weight. Well, at 330, that was 33 pounds.
Yeah, close, right?
And I'm already close to that. Yeah. And I don't. It's going to be more than that.
Yeah, because those things are skewed anyway. When it says like 6'4" and you should weigh this much, like I think my ideal weight is for my height is like 180 something.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm nowhere near that.
Right.
Like if I weighed that much, I'd be fat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's just not my body size. And so it's not like it's not a one size fits all type answer.
No, it's just I guess they also don't make broken promises.
Yeah.
Like you're going to lose 50% of your body weight, or and then also like this drug wasn't created to lose weight; it's created to treat type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
But it's found that lose weight, so that means the people who don't need it, that are getting it off the black market, and other various Facebook ads, they're the ones reporting the numbers. But they didn't need to lose a huge amount of weight. So to lose 20 pounds for them, that's 30% of their body weight, and they're not considered healthy.
Gotcha.
So that's another reason why I don't pay attention to so much, that kind of stuff. I'm just going to lose until I either don't want to pay for it anymore, or until I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious, like how, because like I could only imagine that if I was doing something like that, I'd be like, I don't want to stop this. I don't want to stop this. You know what I mean? Like I want to stay small. Like I like being thin, so like I could only imagine how I would be if I was in your shoes or her shoes.
And if it works, if that's what because people have to take, I like to keep my blood pressure down. Well, you got to take this pill. Mm-hmm. Or I like to keep my cholesterol down. Well, you got to take this pill. It's just how long do you want to take the medicine? Mm-hmm. And the beauty of this, you don't have to be weaned off, and it's not like a life-threatening thing when you get that small. If you want to stop it, then stop it. And if you find yourself starting to eat again, or
that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
like I just know. How long? It's gonna be interesting to watch when she gets off of it.
Well, okay, but
I got to go back on.
You can redo your gastric bypass. You can redo your gastric sleeve. Uh-huh. And weight loss is is a fucked up journey when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because how much do you want to pay for?
Yeah.
It's just that's
I wonder what it is with me then, because like I just have this limit. Like I just know, like anytime I gain a little weight and I have like a loss of self-control.
Well, you've never been morbidly obese.
You're lying. I have.
Morbidly obese. You've been above 300?
No, dude.
And then you've been skinny, and then you've gained weight.
But so when I was growing up, I like was homeschooled for 4th, 5th, and part of 6th grade, I think, and I gained a lot of weight at that time, and I remember I had like inverted nipples and everything, and I remember how much that bothered me.
Right.
That bothered me so much growing up, and I didn't lose it until 8th grade when I just quit taking lunch, or I don't remember what I would do. I don't know if I was spending my money on weed or what, but I wasn't buying lunch, and so every day I would skip lunch, and I just thinned out real good.
Right.
But from not eating lunch, and I didn't eat breakfast anyway, so I was probably coming home and eating.
Well,
but it bothered me. So like, as and I don't know. My brother kind of like touched on it, and I'm pretty sure you touched on it before. And it's just like you just don't care or something. I'm not sure. Like,
well, when you I was always fat, and then even when I had my growth spurt and puberty and all that, and lost like 45 pounds over my junior year.
Okay.
I was still fat.
Really?
I was 210, but of course, at 18, that's still huge.
Yeah.
Never had pecs, never had the 6-pack that senior high school.
Did you not believe it was achievable?
No.
Really?
And when you see yourself that big, and you get degraded and beat down, for being big.
But other people telling you shit.
You consider, okay, well, this is just my life.
This is me. Okay.
And whenever you're, then you get to adulthood and you mature out, because you matured out, and I think I was 250 when I was like 25, and by then you're fully grown. Your frontal lobe is fully grown. You're just fat. Like, well, this is just what I look like. And so to gain, to get up to 300. is just you don't see it didn't happen overnight. It just happens gradually. So
I just always wondered. It just makes you wonder because I understand that, like, I get it, but like when I got hit in the head with that baseball bat in 3rd grade, I wonder or it was 2nd grade. I wonder if I'd have been a different person if that would have never happened. You know what I mean? If like maybe that would have been more susceptible to me. You know?
Yeah.
Like I just always think about that. I always look at that like as it was a blessing, getting hit in the head that hard.
Could be.
Because I just never felt that way. You know, like people would tell me things and I'd be like, "Bitch, you don't know me." So that's always how I felt inside. I'd be like, "You don't fucking know. You don't know me.
Right.
You don't know shit."
It was, I guess, you just accept. You get. Like I guess like normal people, they get degraded or demotivated. By somebody's thing. It's supposed to motivate them to be better. Mm-hmm. But with people, that are with my mentality, you degrade us. We just go, okay, yeah, that's me. I'm a big fat loser. I can't play football. If I don't, what do you want me to say, coach? What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Well, get better. I can't. This is all we got.
Don't try, huh?
No, I just gave up trying because no matter how much you try, it was never good enough.
That's how you felt.
Because no matter what you did, it was never good enough for the team or good enough for the other people. You're always being compared to other people. So eventually you're like, well, fuck it. They're going to be better than me, so why even try?
Oh, you always bum me out so much.
I'm just kidding. I'm better kidding. Now. Yeah.
Yes, I know. I'm just fucking playing.
Yeah.
But it does when you tell me stuff like that. It always makes me so sad, right? Because I'm just like, how a rough little childhood you had,
Well, it was a normal childhood. It's just not every, and that's why not everybody has the same childhood.
No, of course not. And I don't expect that.
Like my home life, my home childhood life. My parents stayed married until I was 17. My dad always provided. We never did without, so it's not like it wasn't that bad as far as home. But yeah, school sucked, and that's probably one of the reasons why I never had kids.
I bet a lot of it had to do with my real dad not being there, and I kind of probably felt like I was on my own.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so it kind of made me take up some sort of a flag. And just be like, this is me, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
and like,
you're responsible for yourself.
Yeah, it probably made me, like, I always look at that as a blessing, too, because me being involved in my oldest son's life the whole time, he just got fucked up. He's all fucked up. But I'm hoping these kids come out good. These little ones. My oldest one, he's all fucked up.
Well, see, that, parenting, that was your first one.
Yeah. That does not make me feel better when people say that. They're like, oh, you always fuck up. I mean, and that's something I say.
Yeah.
You always fuck up with the first one, but it's like, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it better,
No, it sure doesn't.
Well,
it's part of being a parent.
I remember when he lived with me, sometimes I would think, my God, me being around is just not good for him, because he's just so, like, he was so soft. And I guess and then me being disciplined by a man that wasn't my actual father was like, that was hard for me as a kid. Like, I didn't like that.
Right.
Oh, it's funny. Life is crazy.
Well, it is, and we don't know, back then nobody knew.
Yeah.
There wasn't any stuff, people didn't do studies. And it wasn't until we got old and we did our own studies going, why am I so fucked up?
Yeah.
And so we looked back at our own childhood, and that's when people started realizing shit, and that's what, they're trying to make the change. But, like, I used to look at weird news to talk about on here, but there's no such thing as weird news anymore. It's just the news.
Yeah.
It's just headlines. I mean, there was 200 pagers that blew up on people.
That was pretty cool. People are like so mad. I'm just like, whatever, dude. That was cool though.
But how did they do it?
I don't know. They would have, like, somebody said, I watched this one guy, Mental Outlaw, his YouTube channel, and he said that. Have you seen that channel?
No, but I've seen, I've seen some stuff about how, like,
they're saying they'd have to get to it at the manufacturer. That's how they would have to, have done that.
They have to put somebody in the manufacturer. They get in the supply chain, and they have to know that these ones are going there, and and then pack them all up. Yeah, and so they're like, I'm so confused because I know Gaza wasn't like a country, but now they're fighting with another country now, right? I think Iran is fighting with Gaza against. But like they're bombing the shit out of Lebanon or something, which is like they're in Beirut, which is above Israel. But I think that's part of Lebanon. I think that comes from Iran. Yeah, with Gaza and Hamas. Oh, I'm sure Iran's behind it. Yeah. But how do you have the? It's like World War III is probably going to start off of this shit. But my thing is, how do you, how the balls it would take, to organize that? Yeah. I don't. We couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, they almost got wiped out. So it's like, I think that's the thing people don't know.
They would have to, they would have to have planned this 6 months ago and put somebody in the factory, to steal these pagers and take them, and plant them and then take them all back to the factory. That's going to be, and then know that these boxes are going to be shipped to there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust anything, because how do you know where else those, all the pagers that had the bombs?
Imagine how many people got rid of their electronic devices over there.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah, I definitely, if they didn't blow up, and they blew up, they weren't all, a lot of them were, but not everybody was.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of civilians got fucked up.
Yeah, a lot of people got fucked up.
I don't know. I don't ever feel bad about that.
Casualties of war.
Yeah, I don't ever really feel too bad about that.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but I'm thinking, like, get your fucking kids out of there.
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
And then we had
It's not that easy.
And then I thought P. Diddy escaped the country and was never going to be seen.
Yeah, I didn't know he was here. I thought he was just gone.
Yeah, that's what they said. He was they did all these indictments and then he fucked off.
Yeah.
Never saw him, never heard of him again.
Yeah.
And Cat Williams did his whole thing on that Shannon Sharp.
That's kind of who broke it.
Yeah, he broke on the news. P. Diddy's going to do this. He's got these videos and I've got these receipts. Everybody's got all this. Never heard about it again.
Yeah.
All of a sudden now, they opened up this indictment. Where did he come from? Did they go and arrest him, or did he never leave?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because now he's in the same jail that Epstein killed himself in.
Yeah. And for the same thing, but worse. That dude is such a deviant, bro.
But this dude, is willing to,
sing.
Yeah, he's willing to sing. So that's going to be interesting because there's all sorts of videos that are popping up that they found in the mansion and other people saved because, everybody has had cameras now on their phones for 10 years.
Yeah.
So all these videos are coming up with all these celebrities.
Yeah.
Who needs weird news whenever you have just turn on the news?
Yeah. Yeah, those are always weird ass questions anyway. Like what would you do if your butthole fell out and shit? You know one thing I realized about Reddit though is that is if you want to be rage baited, that's where you go. Yeah. It's almost like that algorithm knows you. And it's because it just rage baits me when I get on there. I see communities that I'm not even following and they it'll just show up in your feed and it'll be something that just pisses you off and you're like, what the fuck is this? Or they have this one that's everybody gets on there and they go, tattoo regret, what do you think? And they fucking have to ask an opinion. And it's that shit makes me so mad because it's a great tattoo usually.
Yeah, it's people looking for validation.
Yeah, it's fucking
weird. I see the ink shaming, the ink shaming groups,
and
you see bad tattoos, you're haha, you got, that's kind of fucked
That's
up.
funny, yeah.
But whenever people put on those ink shaming groups and people put great looking tattoos, but they post it anonymously, they won't put their real name.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, you're just looking for validation.
Rage baiting, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at this horrible tattoo. What do you guys think? I think it looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It started making me so mad. Because at first I would be like, nah, it's a great tattoo. It was just so constant. And then I just started telling them shit motherfucker, you need other people to tell you what looks good and what doesn't. That's a good tattoo. That shit would make me so mad.
I just reply with weird shit now, you're sure per salt on that and then summon the devil.
Yeah.
Or, have you considered going to Walmart and buying some Snap?
I think that's what a lot of those people do on there. When I go to the comments, but there's always a bunch of people also sucking up. I'm just like,
yeah,
it's weird
because they're looking for validation. They want those likes.
Yeah, because it's good karma on there. You get, I have negative karma on there. I'm pretty sure.
Because people downvote all your stuff.
Yeah, because I can't because I talk shit, and so I can't post on some communities. I tried to post in Conroe or something, and they were like, you don't have enough comment karma, and I was just like, man, fuck Reddit. Then I tried to delete my account and it had me put in my password and it's not the password, but it's I logged in with that password, but then when I go to delete the account, it won't let me because it says it's not my password.
So reset your password,
I guess. I guess
it just takes so much effort, doesn't it?
This is annoying because I just wanted to delete it and I was like, they won't let me delete it. It's retarded.
That's why people have several accounts on Facebook, Reddit, things because it's hard to delete your history on there.
Yeah.
We have, and then, you can't just keep making these fake accounts, like 15 of them, you know, because it maxes out and they start to recognize your IP, you know, because used to you could, but now it recognizes IP addresses, it recognizes, you know.
How many accounts you got?
Right now, just 2.
Okay. Well, I don't know how you know that they max out.
Because I tried to make more.
Did you?
Know, it's like you already have a, you know, account registered. I think it came from, because I was using the same PC.
Yeah.
Under the same IP address and things like that. So I think, I don't know, it builds up. Or like making different Gmail accounts to, you know, to use that for, you know, eventually, but Gmail asks for a phone number now.
Yeah.
And so you.
Oh yeah. Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I haven't tried to make a Gmail account.
And you can only have so many Gmail accounts on the same phone number.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh well. I guess that'll keep you from trolling a little bit.
Yeah, I think, you know, I don't know what they're trying to do, but yeah, I think
More
that's what
fake reviews.
Yeah.
Huh. So Katja did really good on Friday the 13th. Everybody said it.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
Yeah, Trey, like, one of those days was just like, man, Katja was holding it down. And I was like, yeah, she was doing really good. It was like, because I was right there where she was talking to everybody.
Right.
And so, like, I could hear her. And it was just funny listening to her accent all night, you know?
Yeah.
Welcome into the tattoo shop. And German accent. It was just so funny.
If we do that again, I have to number the pages. I'm going to find a better way to, we have to organize. I'm like.
Well, tell her to come on and figure it out now, because it's coming.
Yeah.
December 13th.
Yeah, I was like, baby, what, you know, we will discuss that. But, you know, she's, whenever, because before she was, you know, before Friday 13th, she wouldn't answer the phone.
Yeah.
And to, you know, you got to try to get her engaged with somebody if they engage first.
Yeah.
But I was like, so on Friday 13th, I was trying to build her up a little bit. I was like, so you're going to answer the phone? You're going to say, oh, yeah, I'm going to be working. I'm going to be professional. And goddamn, you know, she sure was. So we had a little system built up, and it was just bam.
What you doing? What you doing? Give me that banana. Yeah, but she did real good. Everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice. Fucking Courtney got fucked up, huh?
Dude, Courtney, yeah.
He didn't take any photos. You came to take photos. He didn't take any photos.
He was sitting there, and you could see he was talking, but he wasn't. You know,
really?
You could see he was talking. I knew he was talking in his head because he'd look around. And he'd nod, but he wasn't looking at anybody. He was looking, you know. And after he peeked and then he came down, he was like, man, well, I'm sorry for barking.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't barking, dude. Not out loud.
Yeah, he had a good time.
And then Cassie I think she got pissed off because me and Courtney were sitting there and she was flipping through the papers. She said, I need you to help me find this tattoo. No.
Who, you said that?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
You just got done?
I was, yeah, dude.
Tired?
I wasn't tired. It was just like, y'all are stressing out, dude. I'm not going to stress out over this shit. They're an hour and a half behind.
Yeah.
Y'all can get all the paperwork ready, and then they're still going to be an hour.
They're still just going to call your name and go, which one do you want?
Yeah.
I mean, it did help having them on the paper.
But you didn't need to stress about. A person comes in.
Yeah.
And 2 seconds later, which one do you want to get? And then, and then they sit around for an hour and a half. You're like, dude, just chill, man.
Yeah.
You know, just look for it, and eventually you find it. But they were stressing out about it, and you know, they were ordering over each other.
Cassie handed out the laminated ones. I'm like, God damn it! What in the fuck are you doing? Those are our like master copies.
Yeah.
And then she's spending the next 20 minutes. Look, I don't even know where they are now. I don't even know if they're there. I haven't even paid attention.
Oh, I know they're there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I just watched her for the next 20 minutes trying to get them back. And I'm like, see, told you.
Yeah, don't give out the lemonade.
Silly ass.
People walk out.
I mean, I know it seems easier, but I mean,
it's not.
I could probably laminate more of them, but yeah, they'll walk out with that shit.
Yeah.
They get tired of waiting and be like, well, I got this one. You know, well, we didn't stop taking anybody. So like we took, I think the only thing we did is we didn't answer 2 phone calls towards the end of the night. There were 2 calls that we didn't answer, but everybody else that came by got something.
And you and Jake talked.
Yeah, of course we were gonna talk.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I didn't know if that was the first time you had talked.
It was the first time we talked. Yeah, that's why I just like was up front pretty quick with him. You know, like
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, but you wasn't mad.
No, I wasn't mad. I love him.
I know, but you know, a few weeks before that, you know.
Oh yeah, it was a little different. I was just mad because he didn't respond.
Right.
And he gave me time to cool down, and he had some good points.
Right, but what I thought, you know, how much you grew that, you know, whenever he came in, and you was very like, all right, you're here, so let's just get it out of the way. But you didn't start out. You sat down. You had a conversation.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have done that a year ago.
Yeah, no.
So
I've had a lot of good conversations with people lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a girl that came in. I'm not interrupting you. Right?
No.
There was a girl that came in with her dad, and she had this fucking piercing barely hanging on, right? It had migrated out. And so I was like, okay, the piercer will be here tomorrow. And I didn't want to give them any answers because I don't know what the piercer and her talked about, I don't know what the deal was. So I wanted her to come back when the piercer was there. So she came back with the mother, and Shantae explained to her, well, I showed you the other jewelry and you didn't want it because it didn't have diamonds. So we used that jewelry. And she's like, and this is what happens with that jewelry. And so the mom looks at me and starts saying the same thing over again that they had already said. And I go, what didn't you understand? Like, and I guess that was kind of rude, but it wasn't meant to be really rude. I was just like, what aren't you getting? You know what I mean? Out of what she just said, like, because there was no reasonableness. There was no, like, even a stop to think about what was said. You know what I mean? Like, the mom went back into her spiel. And we don't really do refunds. You know what I mean? Like, once you leave with that piercing, that's your responsibility.
Right.
And,
you can't, if I give your money back, I can't seal you got to seal your ear back up.
Yeah. And so, like, while she's standing there, it was on such a little piece of flimsy skin that it just fell right off. And she goes, see, it fell right off. But the mom had started getting an attitude with me because she's like, customer service, right? And I was like, okay. And so, like, I just stayed calm and I just let it happen. And I was like, okay, so what do you want? She's like, we want and the daughter started getting an attitude after the mom. And so I just pulled out $40 and I was like, goodbye. And, like, the mom was like, thank you. The mom was really nice. I mean, she was trying to be nice. She was trying to control herself, but she was having a hard time. And so I wasn't mad. I was like, whatever. It did bother me a little bit, but I got over it. The next day, the fucking husband calls me, and he's like, somebody was rude to my daughter and wife up there. And I go, it's over, man. I go, I gave them their money back. I don't understand why you got to concern yourself. And he's like, myself? It's a very touchy person. And I was like, he said something to me, and I don't remember what he said exactly, but I go, oh, you're threatening me? Are you fucking threatening me, dude? And he's like, I'm not threatening you. He's like, I'll be there. I was like, I'll see you soon. And so I was like, we hung up, and I sat there for a second, and, like, my adrenaline was going. And I was like, I'm not going to do this. And so I called him back, and I was like, would you like to talk like adults? And I could feel the reasonableness in him in our first conversation, even though he was mad. Like, I could still feel he was reasonable. And so when I called back, he went on to his rant again, and he said everything. And he's like, he won me over. He won me over so hard because he goes, I'm what you would call a good African American. He goes, but I ain't from fucking Africa. I'm from the USA, so I'm a fucking American. And I was like, I love that. Yeah. Like, I love that because that's how you should feel. We're all here together. And then he tells me how he's a veteran. And so when he says he's a veteran, and he's in the middle of his rant, and I'm like, I appreciate you being a veteran. I just calm that shit because I don't want that. You know what I mean? Right. I don't want that with anybody. And
de-escalate the situation.
Yeah, I mean, and I definitely felt like, mad at first, but then I was like, I don't want to do this with people. And so when I called him back, and then he let me talk, and I told him exactly what I just told you, and he goes, okay, because he knows that bitch is crazy. You know what I mean? And so he knows. But he was like, me and him, and we said goodbye to it, and we said goodbye and everything. We just didn't hang up. I was like, all right, have a good day. Both of us told each other to have a good day. Right. And it was really nice. It was really nice that we could be together instead of divided. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we could just talk through it. So yeah, that's definitely something I've like.
You've definitely grown in the last year.
Yeah.
Because a year ago, or a year and a half ago when I first met you, we had a Karen come in over an ear piercing, and you had offered, by the end of it, you're like, listen, I'll give you $20, or you can call me tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so she decided, she called you the next day, but then, she never, she
was threatening to leave bad reviews and all kind of shit. And it was like, what did she say? It was like, I didn't even want this piercing. She said something crazy like that. You know what I mean? She's like, I came in for, I don't remember what she said, but it was just something so outlandish. And I was like, that was when I was like, just tell me you need money. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's what I was telling her. I was like, just tell me you need $40 and I'll give you fucking $40.
Right.
I was like, but you don't have to come in here and complain about the piercing that you obviously still have, or I don't remember if she took it out.
It was one of those crossbars, but it's almost touching her ear, and she wasn't happy with that. And you guys were like, hey, we told you this was going to happen because your ears are your ears aren't shaped right for whatever that is, where
industrial.
The industrial. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, the other piercers said they could do it. Well, why didn't you go to them then?
Yeah.
You came here. That's what we told you, but you still wanted it, so we did it. But there were some arguments. You even set your camera up because you weren't sure what she's going to do.
Yeah.
And then a year later, I've
learned.
Yeah, and you had a real conversation. You even called him back. You didn't wait for him to come.
Yeah. Because that was stupid.
Yeah.
Like then it's going to be even worse.
Yeah.
He's going to be angrier because he's going to have time to sit on it, think about
the whole drive.
Me too.
And somebody cuts him off in traffic, and he's just, by the time he gets there, he's just raging.
Yeah, and then I'm going to be the same way because I'm waiting on him.
Right.
And I'm waiting on this guy that I'm assuming is going to be angry.
And so you've just been pumping yourself up. Yeah. So instead of all that, you took the time to actually call him back and say, "Are you ready to have a conversation now?"
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. Like I felt really good about it, and then I even wanted to text him, but I didn't. And I wanted to text him and be like, "Man, I'm really glad we could." I was like all day long. I'm really glad we could come together on that. Like,
but the text wouldn't be necessary. All that would do is just kind of.
Well, I'm definitely not doing it now.
No, I'm saying like even then, y'all had you had it and it was resolved, and then both y'all moved on. Yeah. Two strangers made an influence on each other's lives.
Well, he won me over so hard with that shit. Where he's like, I'm not from fucking Africa. He's like, because like that's it. That's how you should feel.
Right.
You shouldn't be like clinging to something that's in your past. You know, you were born here. Like, be here.
Right.
You know, like, be one of us. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's not about identity politics.
Yeah.
It's
just
I
really like that. I really like
a conversation.
That. Yeah.
But that, whenever I was watching, whenever Jake came, I was like, all right, well, this is either going to go well or it's not going to go. And I was watching, y'all started talking, and I knew what was about, because I, knowing this, the limited stuff I did know about this AC and y'all's conversation. That's why I kind of left and went to the other side of the table because I didn't want to say something stupid. I didn't want to, be at poor Barry moment because that wasn't a comedic moment. You didn't need my input or my influence.
Yeah.
To try to, de-escalate or try to make fun of. That wasn't the appropriate time.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, me too. Because I might have been different in the past. I definitely wasn't happy with him at first, But
I was like, well, I guess we're not seeing.
But he had some really good points, and he said anytime.
When you took the time, after after the little hash out, and y'all had a time, y'all finally got to talk. You were able to listen to his points and take them under consideration, not just shut down. Like you would have in the past.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it feels good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for noticing my change.
Well, I mean, that's what we do. That's that's what me and you do with each other. You're like, I noticed this. Mm-hmm. Like whenever Cassie kind of pissed you off that one night. And not that one night, you were just kind of annoyed by her. And finally, I was like, let's go outside. We went out there. I was like, what the fuck is going on here tonight? You're like, oh, you can tell? Yeah, motherfucker, I can tell. And nobody else I would ever done that to.
Yeah.
Any of my, the few, people I consider friends at work or, friends in the past, I would never have called them out. Like, why are you acting like an asshole towards everybody?
Yeah.
I was just like, well, I guess he's been an asshole tonight.
Yeah.
And just probably left.
Yeah. What do you think that is? Because you didn't care about them as much or what?
Awkwardness.
Or do you can talk to me?
Yeah. I know that I can tell you things without making it weird.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable enough to call you out on your shit.
Yeah, I like it. I appreciate it.
Because, the kind of camaraderie we have.
Uh-huh.
I can trust you enough to open up to you and not worry about you bringing it back up and using that against me. And so by doing that, I guess it makes me feel comfortable enough that I can also call you out on yours.
Yeah.
Without dragging it on or, giving you a hard time about it all the time.
Yeah.
The shit that people do to me whenever I try to open up to them. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's it's made us better at talking with each other, but it's also made us better talking to other people too.
Yeah. Oh, I think this has helped a lot for me.
Yeah,
because like you've seen all these Instagram videos I make now. Like I have no problem now.
Right.
And I used to be like that a lot. And when me and Jennifer got together, I kind of toned it down because I felt like I was seeking a lot of attention.
Right.
And so the longer I got into my relationship with Jenny, just the more I quit doing that, because I don't want, like, you know, these women to think they could just get me and shit, you know what I mean? Or like send me stuff. Like, I don't want any of that. So that's definitely like a new thing too in my life, you know, in the last 7 years, I'd say.
Right. Well, those videos mean a lot to you. They mean a lot to your business too.
Yeah, people.
And you can make, and they can mean a lot to the podcast. And even though I don't agree with that, not Andrew Wilson, but the bodybuilder ex-convict that was going to fight Andrew Wilson on the Fresh and Fit podcast that was about success.
Oh, Wes Watson.
Yeah, it was Wes Watson.
Fucking loser.
Yeah, I don't agree with anything he said, except if you make content, you got to make content.
Yeah.
You can't just make a video. You got to make content. Whenever you're up, if you want to, make some content.
Yeah.
If you're not doing anything, make some content and post it.
Yeah.
Build your presence up.
Well, people like it. They've been, so, what was it? Friday, I guess. Somebody called, and right before I was going to tattoo Jake, maybe it's Thursday, and he was like, hey, are y'all expensive? You know, like, how do you charge? And he sounded just like fucking Cam Patterson. Just like Cam Patterson, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I kind of explained to him that I'm going to be fair to both of us, you know, like, I'm not going to, you know, because he's like, well, how much for a sleeve? He's like, $200. And I was like, no. I was like, man, it's going to be more, you know, and I just explained it to him how I work. And he goes, okay, man. He goes, who are you? Are you the bald guy from the videos? And I was like, yeah, that's me. And he's like, that's what I was looking for, man. That's what I was like, all right. And then while I'm tattooing Jake, a girl calls and Shantae answers, and she's like, he doesn't have his own Instagram. She was asking for my Instagram. And
right.
Shantae was like, no, his Instagram is the shop page Instagram. And then she said hers and Trey's. And she goes, but his is that one. And she wanted to get a tattoo from me, you know.
Right.
And then some customers came in. They're like, are you the owner? I seen your videos. Like, I've had it a lot lately. So
right.
I'm like, yeah.
So that's what I mean. You need to,
Yeah.
You need to post. You need to hashtag the shit out of it. You know what I mean? And
yeah, I try.
And do you save them, or
I forget a lot. Like, I've started to save my stories. I need to get a new phone because my memory's almost full, and it's old.
Yeah, you get a new phone, save them, and then you can, and then that's what the same thing you use for TikTok.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to make a video on TikTok. You can just upload one.
Yeah. Well, I like making them on TikTok better because TikTok their editing tools are better, and then you bring it over to the other one.
So
you know what I mean?
Do you post them on TikTok whenever you make them, or just make them and then post it on Instagram?
No, I post everything on there.
Okay.
Like, I usually post the same stuff. I even try to post on Twitter a little bit, but it's like I have there's nothing on Twitter for me. You know what I mean?
Twitter is politics.
It's weird. It's a weird landscape.
Yeah.
Everybody says there's porn on there, but I don't have any porn on my shit. So.
You got to search for it.
Nah.
I
typed in camel toe one time and I didn't find shit. I'm serious. I don't know, maybe my parental lock's on or something.
I swear to God, man. No wonder we only get 2 views. You're electronic.
I am retarded. You take over, motherfucker.
We couldn't get the channel to work. I couldn't get the password to work.
I'll just reset it.
Yeah.
I'll reset it because I gave you the right email. I don't know why it didn't work.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, let's do that if you come Friday.
Yeah,
we could skip making a podcast next weekend and
That's
just come to the shop.
It took me 55 minutes to get here.
That's a long fucking time, Barry. That's 2 hours out of your life. Well, we don't know how many hours you got left, brother.
Dude. Germany gas is $8 a gallon. Of course, they don't charge by the gallon; they charge by the liter.
Okay.
But you put it all together and convert it. It's about $8 a gallon.
Wow.
And they don't drive. Like, to drive an hour, you better be there for a good 2 or 3 days.
Really?
Yeah. I was told that to drive 20 minutes to work, you must work a long way away
and make a lot of money.
Yeah.
To go that far.
Yeah. They don't drive to they walk to work, or they take their bike. They live close enough to do that because gas is so expensive.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that's just because they think it's bad and they're being taxed to death, or what?
It's just the economy, and of course taxes because of healthcare system gets paid for it. And then they have their own, like our immigration is worse, but but we also have a huge country. Like Texas is bigger than France.
Yeah.
So, but we have, so even though our immigration problem is worse, they have open borders, and it's just all the people from Pakistan and, all the Islamic nations are coming north, and like, Poland won't let them in.
Yeah.
You know, but all the other countries are like, yeah, come on, even though our people don't want it, you know. And then they're giving them free money and free housing, free cell phones.
I think Muslims are like on track to take over the world. I really do. This one guy was saying that you guys kill your fucking babies. He's like, we don't kill our babies. He's like, we just keep having more babies. He's like, and you guys in these fucking Western countries just kill your children, and you know, like talking about abortion and shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, and you don't even have babies. And he goes, we do. And I was like, they're gonna take over.
Yeah.
They're gonna take over.
And they indoctrinate.
Hopefully my kids will be dead.
They force. You know, they just.
Their kids will be. Maybe it'll be their kids that get into Muslims. That'd be crazy.
I don't know, man. It's a crazy fucking world right now.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I'm glad I won't be alive, you know, to see the end of it.
Yeah, I thought that when my parents died. I was just like, and my dad would have hated Barack Obama. He would have hated him, and I can't remember. I think he died before. And then what was the other one? My mom with COVID. I was like glad she did die, or she died before COVID, because I was like, that would have been rough on her.
Yeah,
it would have been like crazy.
Well, I think, you know, if a lot of our forefathers, you know, would have thought the world was, you know, how did y'all get to this point?
Yeah.
And it's not just our problem; it's a world problem.
Have you ever heard that Alan Watts video? What's that one YouTube channel where they're drawing on the chalkboard, or the whiteboard with a marker?
There's a lot of those.
But you don't know the main one?
No.
Okay. But he does. It's a good channel, and he did one with this Alan Watts thing where he just said, and this is like in the 80s or something, and he said it's just gonna keep getting weirder and weirder and weirder, and I'm just like, holy shit, that's fucking happening.
Yeah,
it's just getting weirder and weirder and weirder.
Well, I remember, you know, in my 20s, you know, looking at the state of the world, you know, and how it was as a child, and you know, then I was in my 20s, and people are like, why don't you want to have kids? I'm like, because the world's not going to become a better place. It's not just, you're not just going to wake up one day and, everybody gets along. You know, and as I've gotten older, I was like, yeah, dude, I've been right. The world's not getting better.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what freaks me out. That's why I'm glad I won't be alive.
I guess it just depends how you look at it, you know? Because remember we talked about that before, like bullying is probably not a thing like as much as it was. I mean, sure it happens, but
I'm sure it happens. It's worse for some because of cyberbullying and anonymous bullying.
Yeah.
Like used to, you knew the kids to avoid.
Said this last time, yeah.
I would just avoid the jocks. Mm-hmm. I would avoid, you know, these groups, you know, or these cliques.
Yeah.
But now it's online. And you can bully people anonymously.
Yeah.
And you know, kids know how to make anonymous posts and anonymous emails, anonymous text, and you know, they just write apps now.
Yeah.
Like a good app, you know, you had to have a team and a development. Now they just use their computer.
AI, yeah.
They just, you know, type in ChatGPT how to make an app, and they start making apps themselves.
True.
And then, you know, there's huge war. There's two big wars going on right now.
Yeah, it's going to be real close to World War III. Like, it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, Russia is losing.
Yeah.
How?
Because we're whooping the shit out of them, I guess. Because it's a proxy war.
Yeah,
That's us. We're the ones using Ukraine to fight. Why are we sending all that money to Ukraine? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, because we're fighting a war over there.
Yeah.
Duh.
You know, we're sending all of our money and all of our gear over there, and we're fighting, you know.
America's been wanting to take out Russia forever.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, it's not getting better. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
And if Russia gets close enough to lose, then they're going to launch.
Yeah.
They're not going to lose and just be like, okay, well, we concede.
Yeah.
Do you really think Russia would just concede? Like, all right, Ukraine got us.
No, not that guy.
No.
Yeah. So you think there's going to be a bunch of mushroom clouds that go up? You think it'll be in our lifetime?
Probably.
Probably. It feels like it. I always told Trey and Shantae, like, just in general, I had this feeling that I'm going to see something crazy. And then when I told them, they were like, I also realized we just did with COVID, you know?
We did.
But I just feel like there's something else that I'm going to see in my lifetime.
Yeah, there's going to be a big war. Yeah. I mean, we don't even care about aliens anymore.
What do you think we're going to do? Because we're too old, right?
They
might take me. I'm too good a shape.
No. You're going to protect. It won't be a draft because it's going to be too chaotic.
Yeah.
And, you know, after the chaos is over, then they may have a draft of whoever's left.
Yeah.
But and then all the electronics are gonna be gone, so they're gonna be able to track you.
Right. Yeah.
So it's gonna be up to you if you want to enlist.
Yeah. I'm going to Mexico. Probably the move.
Everybody's going to Mexico.
Yeah.
But
we ought to just switcheroo. We ought to.
Yeah.
We also just switch. We should all of us go to Mexico. They all come here. We just switch it up. It'd be good for us, all of us. We
just
can
do it
high
now.
five on the way in. We can high five them as they're coming in and we're going out.
There's a reason why they're coming over here versus staying there. So
that's because like you can make money here. You can have things here.
Yeah.
Over there is just they have what we want, which is nothing.
And we have clean water. I mean, we don't shit ourselves after a glass of water.
Yeah, we'll get used to that.
Yeah, you
get used to that.
You get more used to it by just not doing it. Then you all drink bottled water.
Yeah, I forgot you don't go outside.
You went outside and got a huge ass spider bite.
I was in the hotel. As far as I know, I was in the hotel.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, because I woke up with it. And I remember waking up like...
Ow.
Yeah. I'm just glad it didn't... Well, the lady explained it to me really well, and I didn't understand it because I was trying not to itch it anyway, but she was like, you get the infection from itching. Right. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that's how you get that big wound.
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense, you know?
From just scratching it.
And so then I was like, okay, so every time it would itch, I would put that one cream I showed you.
Yeah.
And then once I started using the other cream that she gave me, it helped.
Right.
That next morning, it was like looked like a nipple on my back. I was like, oh, man.
I don't see any reason to go outside. Going outside annoys me.
I like it out there.
It's hot. It's 97 degrees.
Yeah, I like pushing myself. I used to run in that heat.
Oh, yeah. Hey, now that I've lost some weight, I should go walk. And so I go walk. And
you thought that? Have you done that?
Yeah.
You're being serious right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was doing it because my street is higher than the street, so incline. So you're walking up and down this one incline hill, and then the next morning my knee is fucking gone now. It's just it hurts.
First timer, yeah.
And so I got and that was just a few laps of that up and down. But it hurt. But I was like, I remember kind of twisting, because I'm just not that great at, I guess, walking.
Yeah.
But I remember kind of twisting it.
A secret with your knees is just to make sure when they go out that way when you're bending them. You know what I mean? Don't let them bend towards the inside.
No, and that, and
like when you squat and shit, you don't want your knees to go in. You always want them to go out.
Yeah, but it was whenever I was walking up and just trying to press it, and there's just the knees.
It's just weak, so it will slide to the inside. Yeah, that's probably where it happened.
It just twisted because it just gave out.
Oh, really?
And my leg was like, nah, dude, we're done.
That's good to hear you say that, though. That's amazing. I can't actually believe that.
Well, I got to drop some more before I do this again. Because,
yeah, especially on a hill.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's just I was like, I'm not ready yet.
Yeah. Did I ever? Sorry.
I'm too old.
No, I don't think like that.
Well, I guess I was like, I'm too old to just bounce off just because I lost some weight. I got to lose some more before.
Okay, you're right. Did I ever tell you about my mom when we got her exercise bike?
No.
She had already been diagnosed with dementia, like the beginning of it. Her brain had started to shrink or whatever happens. It shrinks, right?
Yeah.
And so we bought her this exercise bike because she would ask me for help, but it was just so hard for me to help her because she was older, and I would try to show her things, but the things I knew were so fucking gymnastics and so I had a hard time helping her because she would be like, help me stretch, help me do this. And so we got her this exercise bike and we put it together. The first day in the room, I come in there, she had been on it, and when I come back in, it's 25 minutes later and she's still going. And I was like, oh shit, you're still going? And she's like, yeah, I'm still going. I don't think she ever really recovered, honestly, because the next day she was so sore, so beat down. You know what I mean? She had a really hard time moving after that, and she never really got on it again that I saw. But I just was and I remember when I came back in there, I was like, oh my God, 25 minutes, and I was like, you're okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm working out, or she just overdid it, and she really never was the same again after that. And so that's the lesson I learned, there. It was just okay, when it's your first time, you have to go slow. You have to be patient.
Right.
You have to be really patient with yourself.
If not, you just get discouraged and it becomes another piece of equipment to hang all your clothes on.
No good. Yeah, that's what it became,
I remember doing that myself, having a treadmill and then hanging clothes on there, doing laundry, and then I put them up. I was like, oh, I can't do that, man. So I just quit buying. I just got rid of the treadmill.
Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't using it.
Yeah, that's how it happens to most people.
Yeah, just use it for equipment or use your workout equipment to hang your clothes on.
I got that air assault bike in the garage, and I work out pretty regularly. But I never use that thing. It's like, fuck. I got it because I didn't want to have to run to do cardio.
Right.
And I don't know. That fucking thing's hard. So it really wears me out. And I'm just like, I don't know. I just never wanted to do it because I thought about it the other day. I was like, fuck, that was $800 worth that I just not even fucking with.
Yeah. Yeah. I look at a lot of, my hobbies and I'm like, shit. Well, working out's not really a hobby. It's something it's a lifestyle you should be doing. But yeah, you have these hobbies or lifestyle choices, like how much money it costs you. And then you're like, but I used to be really bad about buying everything I needed for it at once. Instead of buying things slowly, and all of a sudden you're out $1,000, and
you're just like, you're double bummed.
Yeah, I'm out of money. I'm out all this money, and I don't want to do this.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
But I have all these tubs, these big giant tubs that I was like, oh, I'm going to draw 5 tubs at once. That's impossible to keep up with. Yeah, unless you're like that's your job.
Yeah,
but as a hobby, it just burned me out.
Anything. And
one tub would contaminate, and after that, if a tub contaminates and it's all together because you got these tubs growing, guess what? That contamination just spreads around.
Yeah. Well, like the one thing I do and suggest for everyone though is that you do invest in exercise equipment. Like that's probably my biggest. Like there's sometimes I sit in there and I look at those weights and I think, my kids are going to use these weights. Yeah. I really do, though. I'm like, my kids are going to fucking...
And when they get old enough, you'll show them. And
it's one of my prized possessions.
Yeah.
Like all the fucking dumbbells I got and shit. Like, that's shit that, like, I don't know. It's so... I love that stuff. And so anytime anyone talks to me about working out, I'm just like, you should just get a home gym and just start investing in yourself. And then the other thing I tell them is to just get a program. Find a program and just do the fucking program. Be consistent, because you're not going to see anything if you're not consistent. And then you do have to scale your workouts. You can't just like be like my mom and go 25 minutes on an exercise bike for the first time in probably 30 years. You know what I mean? If that, so
the starting is what's hard. Mm-hmm. Like, when I moved to my house, 4 years ago, I have 2 25s, 2 10s, and 2 5s. And they're Hex dumbbells, and I had them sitting up in the room. Well, my dad came down. He hadn't been down, but he wanted to see this house, and so he came down, and he's looking through everything. He's, oh yeah, it's really nice. So what are these dumbbells for? I said, oh, they're to look at. Because he was, what's the, like the Scarface doll, what's the, it's really cool, stuff, all the other stuff in that room was stuff that, knickknacks and stuff that you want to look at. And he looked at those and I was like, oh, they're just stuff to look at. Yeah. It's what they do.
What do you do?
And he just laughed. He goes, yeah, I get it. It doesn't work out either.
Yeah, I figured.
But I mean, he's 70.
Yeah. But it wasn't really a thing for his generation. That was like a very fringe thing.
Well, like, they did manual labor.
Yeah, they didn't have to. A lot of them their diet wasn't like ours.
Right,
so.
And then he worked on cars his whole life.
Yeah,
and had an auto shop. A big giant auto shop with no heat. I mean, with no AC. That was a.
Well, have you seen that meme? And it's like beaches in the '70s and then beaches now, and it's just like all fat people now.
Yeah,
and it's just a diet.
It's just the way people have accepted it.
This one thing that I watched, it was on Tucker Carlson or something, and he like interviewed these pharma whistleblowers as a brother and sister. And the one guy said that a lot of these, when big tobacco got like their shit handed to them, back in the day, they went and were like, what else can we buy? So they bought up food companies.
Right.
And so a lot of food companies are owned by those cigarette companies. And like, if they did that with cigarettes, dude, they're definitely going to do it with your food. And it's obvious everywhere that they've done that.
They make stuff addictive.
Yeah, and now they're making a shot that you can take to make you small.
Yeah. And now that,
and you get big again, then you can get small again, and then you can get big again, and then small again.
Well, it's all about money, and how much you want to pay. And then, like Ozempic, it used to be $1,200 a shot, a treatment.
Uh-huh.
And now it's $140 for 3 or 4 treatments for because it's one shot per week.
Christ.
But used to $12 to $1,300 cash.
Yeah.
Because insurances weren't covering them, and that was 10 years ago. And now they got Trulicity and these other ones, GLP ones that are coming out that are they are better. You do lose weight quicker and faster and safer.
Is Trulicity the 5th one?
I don't know.
Because Zepbound's the 4th.
Yeah.
So.
I just know that because these new ones are coming out, that makes Ozempic cheaper.
Yeah.
And so, eventually,
Oh, so the new ones that are coming out are hell of expensive now.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, they're more expensive than
I'm that fucking cookie's kicking in.
Yeah. So as new ones come out, just like everything,
yes.
As new stuff comes out, old ones get cheaper, and the Ozempic, lost their patents on semaglutide, the generic, and now they're stretching it and saying, they found out they can have these combo drugs, which is the semaglutide and mixed with B12, both very healthy, both you need to lose weight. And instead of taking just the Ozempic or just B12, now they combo it and you take smaller doses. Which also makes it cheaper for the M. It doesn't make it any cheaper for you.
Yeah.
But that you can buy one vial of this and one vial of this, combine them, and then sell that to people. At a much more reasonable price, but you're still making a huge profit.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like interested in it. Like even though I probably never take it, I'm just interested in it just because I've heard so many doctors and doctors I like that Mike Israel guy off of YouTube, and the way he was explaining it just made me like, oh wow, because he was saying it's like a willpower drug, and so if a person who has no willpower with food can get a little willpower in that area, then maybe they can use their actual willpower to spend time with their kids and shit like that. And I was just like, dude, that's fucking, I love that, And so and the way he talked about the newer ones that they're making and what they'll do, sounds like they're going to get really specific with what they're able to do with it. You know what I mean? And so it's it's very interesting to me.
Eventually, the ability to modify a drug to pinpoint a specific chemical, that's exactly what psilocybin does.
Yeah.
And so I think that eventually Big Pharma will finally come out with something,
Oh, you think they're not already?
Well,
Don't they have synthetic?
Well, yeah, they have synthetic, but what I mean is a shot like Ozempic to where, like you were talking about, just a willpower drug.
Yeah.
These GLP-1s and the way that they work, it still has a lot to do with diet, but I'm saying eventually they'll come out with a willpower shot that, anybody, no matter what their size is, can take.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's very wild.
Yeah. And, in 10 years, went from, getting you had to go see a doctor, and then they had to give you a coupon card, hopefully, that you could qualify for to get, the bill for this, to where now you can just search for it on Facebook and get Facebook ads,
and just do a screen video, a video call with the doctor.
I didn't even have to do a video call.
Wow.
I just gave my medical history, and this lady came on a little virtual message system. All right, so you're approved. And I'm like, yeah, because I paid for it. That's all they care about.
Yeah, yeah.
Your credit card, you could have told, you could have gone on there and told them the same exact questions I did.
Yeah.
And got it.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. Because they have that Done. Done Health or .com. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
It's just for Adderall.
Yeah.
That's when I did that in the past. It was you just get on there and she's like, "What are you having a hard time paying attention?" I'm like, "Yep." Yeah. It's all right. Yeah. It's all about the money. You just got to pay a monthly membership and then get your prescription, which you got to pay for too.
Right.
They
just care about your money. Did your credit card go through? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, then you're fat. Here's your medicine.
The same thing when I got that sleep apnea machine, because I didn't realize I was grinding my teeth, and that's what was waking me up. I thought I had sleep apnea. And I think I woke up coughing, choking one night, and so I was just having terrible fucking sleep. So I got the sleep apnea machine, and they send you the little test. You do the test overnight, you send it back to them, and they were like, "You don't have sleep apnea." And I was like, even though I wake up a bunch, I was mad. And she goes, "Usually we don't have people that are angry about not having sleep apnea." She goes, "So I'll just ask the doctor if we can give you a prescription for one anyway," and they did.
Yeah.
But it was just I was like, it's all about the money.
Yeah, they're like, you don't have sleep apnea. Whenever I had because I had sleep apnea surgery, where they take out your uvula and your tonsils. Yeah. That was 24, I think, 23, and I was like, I'm tired of snoring. And the doctor's like, well, you need to lose weight. I'm like, no, dude, it's really bad. Did the sleep study, and then came back the next day. And came back, the next appointment. He's So well, you do have it. You did fall asleep. You did wake up like 30 or 40 times, Jesus. According to the EEG machine and all these studies. But you're not that bad. And I'm like, Doc, I know I'm fat. I know what I look like, but I still get laid sometimes. And he goes, well, what's it got to do? So, can you imagine when I take a woman home from a bar and we do our relations, and then I put on this machine and go, I'm never gonna get a wife after that. He goes, well, you have good insurance. Let's make it happen. And that was before co-pays. And, because back then you could have shit, not have it, not in your co-pay was like, I don't know, for a hospital stay like $1,000, and no matter how long you stayed. Yeah. It was, of course, time progresses now.
Yeah. Greed progresses.
Yeah. Now it's like 80-20 and all that.
Well, I don't want to interrupt your thought. No. So, but you just reminded me of something that I had, and I tried to explain it to Jennifer one day. And it was like about the 7 deadly sins. And I was like, yeah, of course the fucking 7 deadly sins will affect you personally. But I was like, but maybe like that fucking thing isn't for the individual, and it's more for society. Because like if the world keeps going with the greed the way that it's going, it's going to kill itself, right? Because it's like they're poisoning us now. And like we are them. Like... You know what I mean? Like they're poisoning their own grandkids and shit. Like the people that are in charge of these companies, and a lot of people just go along with that. And I just think to myself that it's just greed. It's just greed. The way that and I noticed that when COVID happened, I was like, oh, these companies realize they get all this money out of us now because we're like, oh yeah, we'll pay a little more for our groceries to come here. I was like, I remember thinking that in those months when we were locked down, is like, oh, they're gonna realize that we have more money than we're supposed to, and that's what's gonna happen. They're just gonna start dinging us, and literally that's what's happened.
Yeah, they'll find every little charge. Yeah. Subscription price goes up, on everything. But they just do it so minutely. Yeah. What's $1? Yeah. A couple more years. What's $1? But speaking of subscriptions, Disney dropped theirs down to $2 a month.
I saw that, dude. They're having a hard time over there.
Yeah.
Disney sucks.
Well, they just can't get a clue or something.
Nah. Yeah.
Acolyte gets canceled. And then yeah. And then this Agatha Almighty or whatever. I don't even know what this is, but
who's supposed to watch that?
Well, that's what they're saying. This is gonna be the gayest show ever.
Who's it for? I don't get it. Yeah.
Well, the people that are, that they're making it for aren't watching it.
Yeah.
And then the people that are on Disney are getting off of Disney because they're tired of seeing that pushed agenda.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's on it. Do they have some gay shit on there?
Yeah, it's a female empowerment. A bunch of lesbian witches.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, just like Acolyte failed.
Okay.
The same thing. They actually had the same scene. These 8 women are standing around singing in their little coven, and the same thing with this. There's a bunch of women sitting around singing like they're in a coven.
It really is a mind virus. Yeah. It has to be, because like the gay population is so small. Like why would they fucking narrow their fucking view to just try to like reel those people in? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like what about the rest of us?
Audience?
Of course you're going to lose. That's so crazy because they are such a small amount of
But they're the loudest.
Yeah.
The Skittle Crew is the loudest until you start fucking with our games. Do you fuck with gamers?
Oh yeah,
they have shut down. Ubisoft, and a lot of people are thinking Ubisoft did this on purpose. There's 2 brothers that own Ubisoft, and their start prices were they were high, and all of a sudden they went DEI, and now their stock price is like $2.
Really,
a share. And they're being investigated. They're going to be investigated. There's been complaints filed by some shareholders that they tank the company on purpose so they can buy back all the shares at a bottom out price, and then stay private.
Weird.
But
greed.
You got to wonder. You got to wonder if that's it. Plus, like Star Wars Outlaws, failed. They're saying Assassin's Creed Shadows is probably going to fail.
Yeah, right, because it's a gay guy, right?
Well, it's a gay black dude that's got nothing to do with, they didn't have to choose that.
Yeah.
And then this Dragon Age Veilguard, which is Dragon Age has been like an RPG.
Okay.
It's got, lions or it's got, knights and, and sorcerers and dragons and all sorts of stuff. And you're fighting skeletons and skeletal kings. And it used to look, like evil. But now everything looks like a cartoon, and a high-end cartoon, but they have top surgery scars when you're making your own character.
They top have surgery scars. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah, and so they have top surgery scars, and they're we want to include the trans. We want to have inclusivity. Okay, so you make a straight one, and you use the bust enlarger or the bust size slider and the butt size slider, and they still look flat as boards. Like you didn't want it, you didn't want it that. Well, we don't want the male gaze. Hey, no, dude, you can't say you want inclusivity and not make it include everybody.
Yeah.
But the developer or one of the main, the guy who is the main developer for this game, he's a trans activist. He was a male that changed over female, and so you can see why. I mean, that's
wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
It's wild. It's so funny. It's like weird to me when people's whole identity is boiled down to their sex. Like, why can't you just be a person?
Well,
why can't you just be a person?
Why do you have to push an agenda?
Yeah,
that's always been my thing.
Yeah,
like I love Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
there's so many people that love Baldur's Gate 3. They have, but all the characters, male and female, they can all have sex with each other. And if you want to use it like that, but they didn't push it. They didn't say, in this game you get to do this. They never even pushed it. And Larian Studios, none of them are woke. They're all just male and female, but none of them have any political agenda. But none of them are from America either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ubisoft is their main company is a West Europe.
San Francisco, right?
Yeah, San Francisco or Florida. One of them too. Yeah, I think it is California. But but they have a gay vampire named Astarion, who got in the male or the actor who he got like Performer of the Year from the Game Awards, and for making this gay vampire voice and doing so well at it, but they didn't push it, and that's why the game got so so famous. But now that Dragon Age is going to get compared to, because it's another one of those RPGs like that, but because of their pushing their agenda and making pronouns. And making, giving you the ability to have people with different pronouns that don't match, and they're pushing their agenda, and that's why they're like, I remember watching this one, video. Wow, toxic gamers. If you don't like it, just don't play a guy with top surgery scars. No, it's not that. I don't want to support it.
Yeah, I don't even play the game.
I don't want to give you my money, to support your political agenda.
Yeah,
you can make a great game without having an agenda behind it.
Yeah. They're like, there's some little fucking trans kid sitting there going, why doesn't he have top scars? Like,
right?
Who didn't?
Like there's actually there's a couple of I didn't watch these videos, but the journalist videos that I do watch had excerpts from Twitch and game reviews from transsexual community. And I'm so glad to see myself involved. But you look at the person like, yeah, I don't know which okay, you're involved.
Yeah,
but there's not enough of y'all.
Yeah,
the audience they're trying to cater to, so they have inclusivity. They're not enough to support the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because Sony, the first like this Concord mess, I'm sure you've heard about.
No.
Well, there's a game called Concord that was a first-person shooter, much like
top lip, right in the middle. All right. Got it.
This Concord game is a first-person shooter, much like Fortnite.
Okay.
It doesn't have the games, and it doesn't have all the stuff that Fortnite has because it just came out. But 10 days after it came out, it was shut down by Sony. They sold the game for $40, and there was a first-person online live service game. 10 days after they released the game, they shut it down and refunded everybody their money and deleted it if you bought it digitally.
Really?
Yeah.
So they took it off your shit?
Yeah, they took it off your shit. That's how embarrassed they were by it, and it's because of the woke community.
I think I heard about that one.
They first said it was $200 million, but now whistleblowers have come out, and from Concord and from the Fireworks Studio that made Concord going, nah, we spent $200 million. Then Sony came in and spent another $200 million trying to make the game viable. And so they lost about, all in total, there's $400 million lost.
That's crazy.
And then the Star Wars Outlaws, the one that whenever Ubisoft started dropping shares, the hundreds of millions that they spent versus the $1 million that they're making back, they have to sell units.
Yeah.
And to sell units, you have to sell to gamers, not to the woke audience, not to the modern audience. Yeah. And so I can't even imagine. That's why they're going to fail.
Yeah, that's funny. I like watching it happen.
Yeah, I want to watch it all burn.
Yeah.
And that's why a game like Astrobot is so exciting because it's just a game.
Yeah.
It's a child's game, and it pisses me off that there's some puzzles in there I can't, I don't have the coordination. I can't do it over and over until you can finally get it.
No.
Yeah.
Jennifer said the same thing because we have to beat the bosses for him sometimes. And
but some of them, you're like, what the fuck?
She said she had to play one like fucking 15 times or something like that. That's when I get mad. I'm like, all right, dude, I'm not done. I'm done for a while. He's like, no. I'm like, I can't beat him right now. I'm getting mad.
Yeah,
I don't want to play.
I've had to force I'm like, all right, because I'll eat a cookie and then I'll try to play and I'll be all like, hey, how do you get that? And then get to the boss and can't get past this one boss. I just fucking put the game down.
Yeah, let's put it down for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see a game like that, you get all excited because it's just a game. You're like, there's no agenda. There's no.
Yeah.
It's hard, but it's not too hard. It's too hard for me. And I'm like, this is a kid's game.
It's a fun game.
Yeah. It's
like,
fun.
because I've just watched him play. I haven't really played it too much because he's so good at it now. But he's like, there's one guy where you get in, he turns into a big sponge. He gets real big.
Right.
Starts running around. There's another one where he's like a blob, and then he like lightning hits him, and he turns into a bunch of little blobs.
Yeah.
It's cool. It was just like it's a really cool creative game.
It is, and what they did with it, and then it made me go back and play the Astrobot, the playroom that came with the PlayStation. I never even played that.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Yeah, that's fun too.
Yeah.
It's decent.
Yeah.
It's not as fun as this one, but it's
no,
decent.
it's not supposed to be either.
Yeah. No, they were just trying to show off what the controller can do.
Right. But I didn't know they were going to make I didn't know, that there's been other bot games that I didn't pay attention to back in the PS2 and PS3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And then I didn't know that I was supposed to go back and play Astrobot or the Playroom to find the characters that would have carried over to this new Astrobot.
Oh, no kidding?
Yeah. I didn't,
cool.
And so these, you go and you find these pieces and you put these puzzles together
in
Astrobot, and then it carries over to the.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, they made a good game with that one.
Right.
That's cool.
But there's no agenda to it.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Mario.
Yeah.
Because when I play Mario,
it's a good IP, and it's just there's no agenda. There's no.
It's just fun.
It's just fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
That's what it was saying with Baldur's Gate. There was no agenda.
Yeah.
Call of Duty, there's no agenda.
Yeah, you just shoot.
Dead Rising used to be this game, was this zombie game where you just run around, kill zombies. And it was, then they had, not really graphic sex scenes, but they had, some graphic scenes. There were cutaways and cut scenes, but now that they woke it up, nobody, when they remastered it, nobody's buying it.
Yeah. What was it called?
Dead Rising.
Dead Rising. It sounds familiar.
Resident Evil remake. Resident Evil is one of the most, Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Silent Hill is one of the most popular horror video games that ever came out.
Yeah.
And now they remade it.
Yeah.
And nobody likes it because they made the woman that was in this game that everybody looked at was hot for an 8-bit video game back then. They made her fat.
What?
Yeah. They're like, why? Nobody. They won't say.
Why a girl? Why always a girl, man?
What?
And I even ask women. I ask Shantae, and Shantae tells me yes, but Jenny doesn't tell me. Maybe she's just being nice, but I'm like, do you like seeing a woman in these roles? Because what's the Mad Max?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Fury Road or whatever with Charlize Theron.
Yeah, and it's just like I can't get behind a woman hero. It's really hard for me. It's really hard for me. Like Game of Thrones, I got behind some of them bitches, but it's really hard for me in a movie. It's like I watched the movie just to see it, but I'm not pumped up about her. Like when I was a kid.
If they make it to where she's not, you're not focused on it being a woman in power or woman in power. If it's just the hero and the hero's journey, doesn't matter what the sex is.
Yeah.
But movies that have women, in the lead role as the action hero, if they make it about her, then
it's not even that. Like a woman is not knocking out a man.
No,
it's not happening. And so sure, maybe a few, Mexican supplement taking women, but it's not really going to happen unless, and so I just have a hard time with it, watching these little twigs that are like Hollywood darlings.
And they're not fighting regular Joes in the movie like me. They're fighting other fighters.
Yeah.
And they're whipping their ass.
Ninjas and shit. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just all right. It's just so hard to believe.
That was a problem that Star Wars Outlaws has.
Yeah.
Is the main, the main character you play is a woman who's running around and knocking out stormtroopers wearing their helmet with just a punch.
Oh, really?
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's like you got to base it in reality a little bit for us to fucking like it.
Yeah,
anybody. That's why Jenny's like, it doesn't matter to me. And she's like, it doesn't matter to me if it's a boy or a girl. And that's good, but for me, it just does. Well, I grew up on Conan. Yeah. You know, and I thought Conan was really fucking cool, dude.
Red Sonja didn't succeed like Conan succeeded.
I watched that one because Conan was in it.
Yeah. But it was about her, and it's just
yeah.
And then Witcher 3, Witcher series.
I heard that shit's pretty dog shit now, right?
But because they got rid of Geralt.
The main guy?
Yeah, the man. And they went with, Ciri, and, not enough people are interested in watching that.
Yeah.
And so you can, if you want to niche your thing to one certain audience, you're going to fail.
Yeah. I don't get why they do it. That's why I said it must be a virus. It really must be like taking over their minds. You
Right.
know?
Now, Space Marine 2. I don't know if you've ever been involved in the Warhammer 40K universe, but you're familiar enough with the world.
I watched something about Warhammer the other day, like a fan-made movie.
Yeah. And it's about these Marines, and and even though they have a female, adaptist, I can't really say the word that they call them, but it's about Marine. It's about soldiers, and they go and they're fighting a war, and it's just you just kill things over and over and over, and you kill. It's just all killing and shooting and blood and guts, and that game has sold millions of copies so far. It's only been out like 2 or 3 weeks, and that game costs $100.
Yeah.
So, what are companies doing?
Yeah.
Why are they? Because Star Wars Outlaws cost $100, and Space Marine 2 cost $100, but Space Marine 2 is selling out.
It's first person?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Check this out.
Yeah, you may have to. Because it's just shooting Tyranids, which are these bugs. It just swarms of them. You see them in the background.
More bugs.
Yeah, you see, because that's what they do. They just swarm.
So it's like Helldiver?
No, it's better.
Yeah, but better, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I'll look at
I was waiting for it to
I'll watch the trailer.
I was waiting for it to go on sale.
Yeah.
But that's just, makes me, that's why I hope that Ubisoft fails, and these other, and Sweet Baby Inc. and everything that they work, all the companies they work with, they're failing, and I hope they keep failing until the gaming community is finally stepping up to a point where we're not going to give you our money anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We've got, because PlayStation 5 just came out. The Pro, they're releasing that next month, but it's $700 for a machine. The regular PlayStation's $500. That extra $200 is supposed to, it's because of economy and because we're using a better processor. You look at the comparison videos; they're not that great.
It's the same, basically.
Right, and so new games, and nobody wants to play new games because they're all woke.
Yeah.
And so there's 10 years worth of games, that can be played on the PlayStation 5. That this is backlog of games that you can just run through, waiting on the new thing to come out. Or now that the PlayStation 5 has been announced, and then it's going to be on the sale or be sold, the PlayStation 6 is already being talked about in the GPU they're using. So why would you want to, in 2 more years, you're going to spend $700 now for a PlayStation 5 Pro that you really can't tell the difference in the 2 pictures, or wait 2 more years and buy PlayStation 6 for probably $1,000, and have a new system.
Yeah.
Or wait 5 years, like most of us did, because the pandemic shut down PlayStation.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get a PS.
Yeah, it took a long time.
It took like 4 years before you could finally buy it in the store. So that's just that's what I mean by not having faith in the world anymore.
Because of PlayStation.
Just video games. Phil Spencer from Xbox. I can't tell what they're doing. And the gamers, they're a huge population of the world.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
And now that they're shutting down, I hope the games have become better. Because if there's nothing else left in this world, at least we got video games.
Yeah.
But if they're all sucky, then what are you going to do?
There'll be no video games when these bombs start dropping.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, these bombs start dropping,
Life's about to become a video game.
Yeah. There's so many couch potato soldiers, pulling off their Call of Duty crap. They can just camp and hide, and they're get shot.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
And just running around.
There's going to be some real savages out there.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be wild.
All the Walking Dead fans. Oh, it's finally happening.
Yeah.
There are so many people out there just praying for something to happen.
Yeah. That's what Elon said on his podcast with Rogan whenever
the coronavirus thing happened, he's like, why do you think this happened like this? And he was like, I think people wanted something like this to happen. And I thought the same thing. I was like, people like long for a zombie apocalypse, like they do.
Yeah.
They like, when that shit was, the popularity of that shit alone just tells you. The way, like, The Walking Dead, when it came out, everybody was like, oh my God. Yeah. You know? And I was just like, that's when I first felt it. I was like, oh, people want something like that.
Yeah, people want an apocalypse.
They want an adventure. Right. They just don't know they want an adventure. And
you know,
then probably until it happens, you know?
Women, I mean, like, women watch all those crime shows, and they watch shows about women getting horrible things done to them. And they get off on it. They're like, oh. Yeah. You know, they just keep watching them. Oh, I can't believe they did that. Like, did you see that?
I do that.
But you're not a woman, you know. Women
love a little bit.
Well, we like it because we're sadistic.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I just like, well, it's like, because I seen this thing, and it was this therapist that said, if you watch this shit before bedtime, you probably have some real trauma and you should seek help. And I was just like,
that's what they say.
I was like, you're just trying to create business for yourself, bitch, because you know a lot of us do that.
And you know, if you watch true, crime shows to relax,
and I get it. I could understand that point of it, but it doesn't. I don't think it means you need help. Maybe just stop doing that. You know, like, and so I kind of quit doing it so much at night, especially, and I kind of quit watching them altogether. And I have seen a little difference in the way I feel, like when I'm laying in bed at night, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not so freaked out.
Well, we will watch crime. You know, we will give awards. We will give Emmys to crime shows.
Yeah.
We will give awards to, documentaries about prison or documentaries about what happened to this murder victim. But we will make the videos of two people having sex. We will put that in a taboo category that you're not even supposed to talk about, even though everybody watches it. And so,
not everybody.
Well, yeah, not everybody. No, but people watch porn.
You know what? Probably too many people.
And if people watch,
I think it's a tool that you can use, but I don't think you should watch it all the time.
Well, just pictures of naked people.
Yeah.
We will put that in it, just a normal, it's because we sexualize everything, but we also sexualize violence, but because it's not two people having sex, it's just, we get off on the violence. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But because it's not actual sexual, we think it's okay, and we'll give that an award.
Well, I'm like really empathetic. Like, it's easy for me to put myself into someone else's shoes. Like, literally, I could feel what they feel when I think about it. You know what I mean? And so, like, when I watch those shows, that's usually what happens to me, is like, I feel what they feel. Like, I can understand the psychological feelings that, not the killers, not that one's the one that always puzzled me. Yeah. But it's like the victims, like, and
or
so
the victims' families.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Like, I can, and there's this one night I was watching the first 48, and when they called the lady, they had a recording, I guess. They didn't call her, they were there. And they told her that their kid had died. Just the emptiness that woman felt, I felt it. Right. And it's because my parents had died, though, you know what I mean? And so, like, I know that emptiness. And I was just like, phew. And so that's kind of what happens to me. And I've been thinking about it a lot ever since I read that. And I'm just like, the other night I was laying in bed and I was like, I like tragedy. Like, it's like, I do. Like, I like to see, I don't like it to happen to me. But I like to know, like,
it makes your tragedies not seem so bad.
Maybe so, yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
It could definitely be worse.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely, there's some of that. Yeah.
And when you see that, you're like, wow, that sucks. And you also start thinking, what would I do if I was in that situation?
Yeah. Or I just like watching stupid people. I know I'm a bit of a sadist. And so I do, like, part of it is watching these people make these dumbass fucking movements where they kill people. Right. It's like, you're so stupid. And so
car crash videos, fail videos.
Yeah.
My thing, and this is one of the reasons, I guess, why I am kind of good at talking shit now, because you've heard me rant on people, and you've heard me talk to dozens.
Yeah.
And I've got some pretty good snap now.
Yeah.
There was a large chunk of my life where I didn't. Probably, I know the good last 10 years is whenever I really have been, got it better at it. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons is because of the videos I watch. I watch, people talking smack to each other.
Yeah.
And what would I have said?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good comeback. That's a good comeback.
Yeah.
And so you start, by doing that, I honed my own conversational skills where I was able to
brainwash yourself.
Well, not so much brainwash. It's just you start thinking, what would have been your comeback?
Yeah.
Because whenever I didn't have one, or I didn't already have something prepared, or couldn't think instantly, I would it would always be like, oh, get on bed, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
And then 3 days later, I should have said that.
Yeah, that happens to everybody though.
Yeah, I know, but I eventually
Still do that now.
you hone your skill to where you can finally have a good comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, whenever you don't, not get mad at yourself. Don't get dejected. Oh, fuck you guys. They're not doing it to be, well, yeah, they're probably doing it to be mean. But sometimes the people aren't doing it to be mean. They're just, they're just doing it because that's what people do.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I was going to say, my ass hurts so bad.
Yeah,
you see me fucking moving this whole time.
How long do you think it's been?
An hour and a half.
Yeah? An hour and 34?
Yeah, I've been looking at it.
All right, well,
later, dudes.
Thanks, everybody.